what I would call the hot seat. It's the hot seat with two eminent gentlemen here beside me who you all know, and it's after the first ever online event for CROWD1 that I hope all of you have tuned into. So taking the conversation from that to a more up close and personal conversation with Jonas Erik Werner, who you all know, the epic founder of ICT, and also Johan Stad from Holstein, the epic CEO of ICT. I thought I would let's create a momentum and just what's your take on the first online gathering? I mean, it was an amazing show. What did you, was it as you had hoped? Jonas, if I start with you?
Yeah, it was a really cool experience. It's totally different when you not have like 8-10,000 people in front of the stage. But I think we did a quite good job, and we will have a couple of those events during 2020, but absolutely a really good start.
I think it was amazing. I'm thrilled about the new promotion that we're doing, where we're trying to spread this, where we're going to show our social responsibility. I think it was fantastic, as with everything with this company.
Interesting that you mentioned social responsibility. I think I'm going to take that thread up again during our conversation. But just to sort of clarify, why is it so important with these sort of large-scale events? I mean, offline now transitioning into online for CROWD1, the platform. Why are they so important, these events?
So I think it's really important because, we have people in maybe 170 countries scattered all over the world, and we don't get to see them. I think by having these type of events, they get to see us, feel us, hear us together. There's always rumors going on, and now they see Jonas and me sitting here together. We have the same ideas, the same visions, where we want to go to, where we want to come. I also believe that sales is a really, really difficult task. Some people underestimate that, and you need inspiration. You need to be empowered and motivated. And I think these type of sessions that we have make people to feel that we're part of a bigger community. We're part of a movement. They feel the engagement, the inspiration, the energy that comes out of it. So there's a number of reasons why I think it's important.
I fully agree with you, and also a picture say more than 1,000 words, and the events that we create are used many times after. People share them, and on meetings, thousands of meetings every day. So we, at the same time as we put people together, we also create great material that can be used for weeks after week, long time after.
I think smart networkers out there, they have made an event out of this. They have talked to a cafe, they've bought one ticket, they're putting it up, they might be selling tickets to people to see it. We might be 1 million people, might be 2 million people out there watching this right now. So, this is a sales, it's one of the ways, one of the products that we have to support them and how to sell their educational projects or programs. So, it's fun for us.
Yeah. At the same time as it should be a great sales tool, it should also be a couple of hours full of entertainment, and I mean, if you have fun, it's easy to do things. And as Johan said, most people don't like to sell. But when you have fun things involved, it's easier, whatever you do.
And sort of taking it back to the beginning, because CROWD1 is then part of ICT, Impact Crowd Technologies. Could you just briefly, I'm sure everybody's acquainted with it, but just briefly, what is sort of the business strategy of ICT? And maybe starting with you, Johan, as the CEO.
So, coming into this business, I don't really know the industry, I've never been in it before, but I see these amazing potential of building the largest sales network in the world, of totally disrupting the way of selling and distributing software, apps, and so on. And also, the ability to take away the digital divide, to make the world more just for countries who normally would have to wait 10, 15, 20 years for software. I mean, we can fundamentally change the world. We can make the world a better place. We can increase growth, and we're doing it from an environmentally perspective, that we're doing everything online, everything digital, everything remote, which means that we're right in the spot of the most important development the world has ever seen. Online, mobile, digital, and pushing growth and prosperity to regions that are way behind. So I think it's really important. And in order to make this really, so that we don't want any credits, we want people to love what we do all over the world and to understand what we do. And in order to do that, we need full compliance, full transparency, over transparency and over compliance. Now we're in 170 countries. So Namibia doesn't like what we do. Well, we'll have to adjust and be specific there. But we need to take it country by country, and we need to become fully compliant to all the different legislations that you find anywhere there is. And this is a process. So it was important to put ICT up in the countries, European law, European legislations, European banking rules, all the compliance. So we need to be perfect. And when we are, people are going to love us everywhere we are. And when they love us all over, we're going to get all the products we need to supply people out there with everything they need to take themselves from where they are to where they want to be, and to truly create a beautiful and prosperous future for all individuals that want to engage in CROWD1 ICT.
Yeah, and for the first time in the history, we are capable of doing this. I mean, tens of millions of people have internet every day. It couldn't be done before, and I've been in this industry for quite many years, and most of the company that have tried to do this before have failed, and a big reason is that they have been building too tough businesses. It's too hard to duplicate them. I mean, CROWD1 for us, of course, as Johan said, fully transparency, and we want to be able to reach out to all people, but CROWD1 should feel like a regular social media platform, really easy to handle. Within a couple of minutes you are in the system, and within a couple of minutes you can explain it to other people, and other people can understand it, and of course the mobile thing. Most people on the globe have a mobile phone actually, and that's the only thing you need.
That's the only thing you need. And also, how did you, because you're both very experienced in the industry, you've both done successful ventures, experienced failures as well, which is part of the game, and well, not the game, but it's part of the business. But how did you meet, and what was sort of the initial spark that CROWD1 and ICT to sort of move in that direction?
Quite many years ago, I saw Johan. It's really tough to not see Johan if you live in Sweden, and I really loved his idea of the internet future, and his predictions about the future have been really well and really good actually, and probably some of the best in the world. I called him up and had a very short presentation, like 8-9 hours short presentation, very duplicatable.
Elevator pitch.
Yeah. Elevator pitch for 9 hours, but no, I was explaining, and we were talking back and forward on the phone before we met, and I know that you like internet and sales and everything, and want to make the world a better place by taking tech out in the world. So I think, I don't know what you say, but we clicked quite fast.
I met Jonas. He's a wonderful energy, very charismatic, great salesperson, and as an entrepreneur, the most beautiful people in the world are the salespeople. So he convinced me of the sincerity and the long-term view that they had and what they really wanted to create and really wanted to change. And he was so convinced, Johan, I've cracked it, I've got it. It's mobile. We need to do this. And we started looking at it, selling other companies' digital products. Because at first I said gambling and gaming only. No. All other companies' digital products, because there's no distribution or logistics. There is a huge possibility of making big discounts and at the same time having huge commissions over for the networkers. And I started looking at this, the digital divide and everything. I said, you're right. We just need to get this right. We need to get it fully transparent. We need to get it, and we just, we bought into each other's ideas and views of the future and what's needed. And I think, as we conclude this process of putting up ICT and taking over a large part of the CROWD1 and then incorporating, getting these things and visions together, it's going to be beautiful. It's a lot of hard work. We're very dependent on our networks and members to be as long-term and loyal to us as we are to them, and committed to what we want to do. The product developers will come and say, this is our way, just by giving us the chance of reaching out to markets where they weren't looking at for the next 10, 15 years. That's social responsibility from their side. We will get these products, our members will find the things that suits them, and we will make beautiful things out of this.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I learned from you actually was that, because when we started to discuss to work together, I was very focused on only working with one thing, because I know that most people, it's tough to duplicate, it's tough to work with several things. But the more we have developed the company and we have great tools and we have talked with so many companies, I actually now start to realize that we will probably be able to work with a lot of different things, but still be very, very easy to work with, because the systems is getting better and better, and the best thing, of course, would be to have a lot of things, so all people can find something or a couple of things that you really love to work with. And in the beginning I said totally no, we need to have one thing, maybe two, and this year of 2020 we will have a lot of things, and I think people will totally love it. And as a salesperson, I can see there will be no problems for people to work with it.
And sorry, when you say things, are you talking about different sectors?
No, both sectors and product services,
so,
online products and services.
I call it a product library. You might like chicklet, and he might like horror, and I might like classics, but we go to the same library and we go to the shelves where we pick the things that we want. So the more AI we can build into the CROWD1 network, the more we can understand. When we're 20 million people, we'll have 600,000 doctors. These 600,000 doctors can sell software that wasn't intended for their markets for 15, 20 years at a fraction of what the cost of what they go for in America and in Europe, for instance. And it's not going to disturb anybody else as little as the horror books in the library disturbs my way. But we all know that the library and the community and the platform, the way we use it, the transaction systems are the same, and that we're all part of this movement and this family, because you should go to one of the live events. That's the only thing I lack here. It's the amazing engagement, and people, I can see people being members of us not because they ever want to sell anything. They might want to buy the things that we have or just consume them in different ways, but just being part of this amazing inspirational atmosphere of energetic, passionate, committed people. So the glue is the energy and the commitment and the passion, and then we'll be able to have different segments for different types of individuals.
Because I'm also thinking in the era that we're living, sort of the consumerism is where we're sort of going away from. At least the mass consumption. So I also think that might be part of the key of this, that it's also building like a global community, and you're launching a magazine and so forth. So there's also this, input and output of connection and maybe educational aspects, and in addition buying and selling.
I believe that, buying crap that breaks after a week, yes, we're going to not do that in the same way because of environmental reasons, because of the waste of money, but we will buy more and more things, but we might buy really, really good, sophisticated software that educates us, that inspires us, that entertains us. We need to have the commercial parts, the transactions of money, of creating things that are sellable, because that's what actually brings food on the table for people. But we might not need to buy a plastic car that breaks in 2 hours or 2 weeks. It's better to buy something fun that's digital, that lasts, that doesn't destroy environment the way that we've been destroying nature over the last decades.
And we know that people, a a lot of people already, and most of the people very soon are spending more and more hours every day. Soon people are spending the same amount of time every day that they do on their regular job where they're earning money. And they spend the time in front of a mobile phone without earning anything. The CROWD1 business, the CROWD1 concept is to be like a wallet that you put on the time you spend online. And of course, the more online products and services that we can provide, the bigger is the chance that more and more of the time you spend online will be valuable. So in the beginning it was online gaming, and I mean more than 5 billion people are doing online gaming every week. And you know there are a lot of famous games with birds and stuff that people are doing every day. But we will also be in the segments of all entertainment, you know, the movie world and the travel world. I mean, it's everything today you can do on a mobile phone. You can live your life on a mobile phone, and that's important. And also, you mentioned the magazine, and the magazine, it's two sides of the magazine. First of all, it's a great way on the online magazine to spread the information and to sum information together every month, because we will have it every month. It will come together with the online events. But the second thing is that we will actually have a magazine printed. And I believe that even that the world have changed the last 20 years. Most of us are still the same people. The evolution have not changed our brain. So we will still like the feeling of the paper. So together doing the online business backed up with real magazines where people actually can take a closer look on CROWD1, on all the product services, what's happening in the company and so on. That will be a synergy that will we will change this industry in many ways, and that's another side of it.
Yeah, and speaking of changing the industry, disrupting the industry and so forth, I'm also thinking, you know, this has been, I mean, an immense, nearly exponential growth that you've had when you look at the member base. I mean, you're 3.5 million members today.
3.6.
3.6, and I mean, you launched in 2000 and...
Yeah, we are like more than 30,000 new members already today. So, yeah.
And that's amazing. So what's sort of the strategy going forward, and in these exponential times? Let's just say the future, you know, in 2 years, because we're in a very sort of delicate era right now. Where do you see, what's sort of the vision for the closest 2 years?
Well, I look at from my DC side is that I need to build this library of products. I need to have people find what they need and what they want to be able to do what they need to do. So my focus here will be on building, and also, you know, with the amount of people that we've grown with, we haven't at all grown as fast with the people on our side, on the back office, on the technology side, on the customer service side. So I have a tremendous job of building the organization to support it, and a tremendous job of finding all these products and getting the integration in between the company products, IT structure, our IT structure, making it possible for our people not just to consume and buy themselves, but to sell in third hand. So the whole compliance, transparency, professional organization, all that is my focus over the next 2 years. And now he's the genius.
My goal is
The vision.
yeah, I don't want him to sleep. So
his goal is to make my life hard.
I will, yeah, but we're working great together, because Johan is the best person I ever met to find new stuff, and he know all people. Most people in the world, sometimes it seems like, but have the right contacts and bring the best products and services. And my job and all the leaders and all the people working with the network building part is, of course, to provide the best bonuses, the best promotions, the best situation, and the best tools for people to be able to duplicate the business. And yeah, my goal is to create together with the team the largest network ever built. And so yeah, there's a lot of job.
Jonas is probably the best in the world at doing this. I mean, just the growth that we've seen the company have this year, it's amazing. And he works 24/7. and engaging all these people and making webinars and speaks to people and motivating and engaging more and attracting more and more leaders around the world. It's a tremendous job.
And the cool thing is actually that we have the duplication in progress with the leadership in the company. I mean, we have great people in the company, and we have like Peter Jacobson and the guys that have thousands and thousands of leadership meetings. We have a great leadership. I heard numbers that we have more than 10,000 meetings worldwide every day, where the regional leaders actually do a great, fantastic job. I mean, I couldn't do it alone. There is thousands and thousands of fantastic people working every day.
And speaking of leadership, because that's also transitioning to be a leader, what are the traits, what are the qualities that you either find are important or admire or want to sort of give to your members? What are the qualities that are important as a leader, both on a professional and a personal level? Because
I think, that they truly have to understand and believe and like our vision. So we want people who want to build what we want to do, who actually want to build things that will empower communities and spread wealth in areas that needs it and create these jobs. We also want them to believe that, yes, we will be putting this company public. We will become like Amway and Herbalife and Oriflame will have a publicly traded company, highly respectable, where they have the opportunity of participating also in that part of the business. So we need to build that trust with the leaders so that they say, this is not something that's come and go with. And I've met some of the leaders, it's Jonas that has most of the contact, and they say, I want this to be my last network building ever. I want this to be for 10 years, 15 years, and that is our ambition. This is going to be really, really sustainable and long term.
Yeah, because that's at the same time as we speak about big numbers, and we will create big numbers, millions and millions and millions already in 2020. But at the same time, the long-term vision is really important, and I think that's also a thing that changes us from a lot of other companies, is that we gather a group of people behind the scene with experience from the traditional business world, that's a reason that you will find us here like 10, 15 years from now, for sure.
But also, which is really important to understand, what Jonas has done in building this network is incomprehensible. So with 3.5 million people in our network, Herbalife is 2.8 million. Herbalife has 3,800 employees. We have about 45, 50. So, there is a mismatch here in building the organization, which also means that our network has to have patience and understand these products are not going to be up there in 24 hours. We need, we're working very hard to integrate all the products that we're negotiating with and that we've signed the agreements with, and it's going to take time. We're working so hard. We're going to be 100 people soon. We're going to be 150 people. We're going to be 1,000 employees on our side in order to support the network. And Jonas is going to break my back. Will be 6 million, 20 million.
Yeah, I mean, it's about 5 weeks until 5-6 weeks until the next online world event, and that event will be even what you have seen now was great. Was the best ever done in this industry, but the next one will be a galactic event, that's for sure.
All right.
And yeah, I would actually, I think I can sit here and say that if we are 3.6 today, I see he starts sweating.
Yeah.
It should be like, I think we will break 5 million until within that time frame.
I'm also thinking, because there's such an exponential growth, and I'm talking both internally with ICT, with your own talent and the people that you're working with and also for the members. Culture is it's so important. It's what we talk more and more of. The company has to have a purpose, a mission, but also a company culture and so forth. And especially when you're growing so much, and also with the gender focus and diversity, especially looking at the countries, you're global. How do you sort of weave that in when you're expanding so quickly?
No, it's 25 years ago I built Icon Media Lab. But 25 years ago, half of our board of directors were women, half of the managers were women in the company. We had we're an IT company, which means by tradition it will be dominated by a lot of males. But we are working very hard on all these issues because we think they are fundamentally important. And with the people that we will be recruiting a lot of, the Generation X, is that what they call them?
And Y.
Y and Z and whatever. They are expecting for us to have all of these issues as not as something that you sell it on, but it needs to be a hygiene factor. If we're not sustainable, resilient, if we don't have a purpose and a mission, all of these things that they won't even want to work with us. And if they don't want to work with us, we're not going to be successful. So we will have, I think we showed with our Epic promotion now where we're giving away huge amounts of educational packages to people because we want to help out in these areas where they need to have a job. We've already started. We're going to recruit a fantastic girl who will be heading up the whole social responsibility part of us. We're working to get in with the United Nations on the technical impact project that they have for the whole world, which is the reason why we're also having the name Impact Crowd Technology, because we want to make good, and we will have an organization that looks into the gender aspects and all of these aspects. We want to be a number one company in every sense.
The company of the future, which
Absolutely.
which this all entails. And just another quick note, which also might be of help, because when you have this kind of growth and also sort of the networking industry or MLM, it has its pros and cons and it has its criticisms and so forth. How do you sort of handle that? Because you're a young company and there will always be some kind of criticism. How do you sort of address that, which also might be good for the members to know in case they experience that, or how they can confront that?
Yeah, we have a really great crew of people working with the legal part of the company, and that section of the company is growing all the time. When it comes to media, it's really difficult because they write whatever they want, and it's still in 2020, a lot of journalists believes that if you build a group of people, it's illegal, and that's you can laugh about it. And I think it will take a couple of more years before people realize that the future is to have an online business, and a lot of the biggest tech people in the world already tells people that prepare, because what we see in the world right now, with the lockdown in many countries where people can't reach the regular jobs, that shows us, and I believe that this is not the first time. It would be stupid to believe that this is the first time it happened. So to prepare the world for things like this is to build the world and prepare it for an online business, a business where you can build from home everywhere. And also sometimes it's really sad that media believes that what we are doing, that we are the bad guys, because we are the opposite, and they protect the old, really bad guys that actually earn all the money. What we are doing is stick hole in the bubble and let the money rain down on millions and millions of people wherever you are. You can be in any country, you can be in your home, in your car, at the subway, it doesn't matter. You don't need to go to a regular job. So what we are doing, and I hope maybe within a couple of years, and what's happening in the world maybe speed it up a little bit, that people really understand that building a network is not a bad thing. It's the best thing you can do ever.
I think also, if you look at it, how social media, how the internet has been built up today, it's been built in a way that winner takes it all. And they have enslaved people digitally. basically by stealing all the content, all the work they do over the days that they spend on social media and so far. We here, we're changing that. We're breaking that up. We're becoming a distribution network for endless amounts of entrepreneurs to distribute their software in a new manner to new regions. We're making it possible for people to actually help out for these entrepreneurs to acquire new customers, and not sending that money as customer acquisition cost money to Silicon Valley, but paying it out in terms of commissions to the areas where they desperately need the jobs to do it and the money to help out. So there's such important parts of the disruption that we're doing, and we're also taking this network industry to a completely new era. We're looking at the gig economy and saying, you need an extra job, you need to do, and we're giving people the ambition to say, well, I'll recommend it on my social media once a month. Well, that's really taking a new grip on influential marketing. We're giving everybody with 500 people on the social media friends the ability to do that. So, but I think the most important part of why would people trust us, why are we so much better than everybody else, is we're putting this company up in Spain, European compliance, legal compliance. We will be completely transparent with ownership, founders, management, and and because of that, we're going to have to prove, we're going to put this company public, so that that everybody knows that they need to have full transparency on everything. And then we will prove the amount of money that we're sending out to the networks and how that money is going to change the world.
And just to sort of conclude a bit, because I'm also thinking all of your millions of members, I mean, some are maybe leaders, founders, and some are maybe new entrepreneurs, like when you're doing a startup. And just to give them some advice, what's the best advice that you would like to give them, or what was the advice that you would have wanted to have when you started out and to become an entrepreneur that can maybe facilitate them a bit?
If I start on that, I love sales. I started selling when I was I was a kid. I was selling, my grandfather was a fisherman, so I was selling cod in the local place where we were living for summer. I then sold sweets at a soccer game, and then I sold newspapers and magazines. Sales is a beautiful trade, but it is a difficult trade, because 99% of everybody you meet is going to say no. 90% are going to be rude and say no, and in order to sell 101 time, you have to go, hello, do you want, you have the attitude, the spirit. That's why it's so important that you have inspiration and motivation. You need to be passionate, committed. 200 no's, I'm going to go for 201st knock on the door. So we're not going to have everybody make money on sales. A lot of people are going to say, we don't even want sales. We don't want to do this. That's maybe why they've gathered 200 people to a cafe to watch the event that we had today. And because then we do the sales for them. We're going to do everything we can to help people and empower people to spread. But I think, I say it again and again, and Peter Jacobs says it again and again. Be motivated, be focused, never give up, never take no for an answer. Just,
And can it be that also saying sales or not, but that it is also transitioning into becoming an entrepreneur, because that is also a title which you can hold with, that you feel empowered by, and then sales might be one of the segments that you actually do.
Yeah, I fully agree to what you said, and I think that what we can help people with in CROWD1 is, as I said before, that we create systems where you're actually selling without selling. The system sells for you, and no one have done it before. And everything from presentation tools to everything is made in a way. I mean, when I started this industry, a short presentation was 1.5 hours, and you know that a regular person can focus for 40 seconds. So already there you have a big problem. So our goal is to become as close to 40 seconds as possible. And if you have a system where it's 40 seconds, still it's really important to have the entrepreneurial spirit and to provide that part. But we're building tools so that people hopefully don't take hundreds of no's, because that's what all people have been learned all times. I learned it. The best salesperson is the one that can take most notes. And I think that the goal when we started this was to build a company where you shouldn't have to take a lot of notes. The less notes you can take as possible. And at the next World Online event, we will actually release something that was my goal when we started this. It's I can probably call it the ultimate material for duplication, where you get people into a process where the tools. I mean, you always need to have the entrepreneurial spirit and have a goal, of course, and have a goal with why you woke up in the morning.
Purpose.
Yeah, that helps, of course, but it should feel like the regular social media, the registration process and everything, and people should easily see, oh, this is something for me. I don't need to like this specific hair product or something. They have everything, and it just pop-ups in front of me, and I just go this way. So yeah. And one more thing before I forget it, because it's important. I want to tell all the members that we talked about before, the legal part and everything. It's important that everybody knows that we have a lot of people all around the world working with this, and it's a high priority to even if we can say that media sometimes want to understand the wrong way, we always deals with everything, and we take it very seriously, and we care about all the members doing a great job. And if there is a problem, we will always be there on their side to protect them and to show them that we are right behind. Always. That's important.
And last but not least, because even though it's a lot about work, it's also about combining work and life, right? So just
What's life?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm going to ask you. And especially in these times, we're living in times where health is also wealth. So I just wanted to get a bit of a personal perspective from each of you. What, apart from working, where do you find your energy, recuperation to then go back, so that there's also a balance? What makes you happy, joyful, apart from, of course, ICT and CROWD1?
If I start, my wife, my kids, my family are incredibly important to me. We've been married for soon 25 years. My kids are 20 and 21 and 19. And then we live in the best country in the world, Spain, in the best city in the world, Madrid. So, there's a lot of food, culture, music, great weather, great wine, and there's a lot of ways of amusing yourself when you live in such a fantastic country. So I think it's great that it is a Spanish company. We have all our huge customer service department there. We have the financial department there. So that's important to me and my family. And then I thrive also from the energy I get from Jonas and the work he's
the
doing.
Millions of family members.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's the great energy. Yeah, I mean, family is important, but also the feeling every day, all the answers you get from all the networkers, and yeah, I mean, a couple of days ago I had my birthday, so I wasn't online on like 20 hours. And I came back, and I mean, there is a lot of people working with this, but there was like 850 not congratulations, it was actually questions, and I love that. For me, it's a congratulation.
850 questions.
Yeah, after 24 hours about how we want to do this. We have started in this this country and so on. So
you say thank you for the birthday gift.
Yeah, okay,
All
that's the best gift I can get. So but yeah. Every day and the numbers and to see the people climbing in the career ladder in the company. I mean, there are people in many countries that do the job they do is it's unbelievable to understand how they can work this fast, and you get humble every day, and you get power by helping try to help to build the best systems, and of course by the great people in the company that when the last couple of days when we have created this online event, I mean the people around us is
Team effort.
my God.
When you see people who are so committed, so passionate, and so grateful. I've had people coming up saying thank you for taking people out of poverty in Africa, and you feel so humbled by that. And I don't know how many times I've sent emails connecting with when people send me something and they say that we cannot let these people down. We have to find these products. We have to make the impact that we can for bringing trade to these areas.
Yeah, and in the last couple of weeks, we have actually seen it very closely, what's happening to people in a lot of countries. It's really tough times, and we have actually seen it very closely in our own company. A couple of people, I mean, even you one have been having a tough time with this, what's happening in
Referring to the pandemic.
Yes, of course, and we actually have one of the guys in the company, one of the mentors in my life that actually just a couple of days ago, we realized that he would survive. So it's tough time, and that's also maybe the last couple of weeks or months a great a thing that makes you work even harder is that you see that people needs this business more than ever. So I think that the whole company, the whole management, everything, we work a little bit harder every day to make this happen to all people all around the world.
Jonas, thank you so much for sharing your insights and for what you do, and I wish you the best of luck going forward. And I also want to say to all of you, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay passionate and joyful as well. And we'll see you again on the new online event, 6th of June, right?
Yes.
Buy the tickets in the back office.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
We will
Looking
beat
forward
all
to
the
seeing you there
records.
again.
Exactly. Thank you so much, and thank you so much to all of you. And I'll soon be having an additional interview with some of the management team. So stay safe, but stay online.